K0TR. Please stand by while I set up the repeater for net mode.
PL off.
The Denver Radio Club net will begin at 8:30. This is K0TR. QSD from the Denver Radio Club. Welcome to the Denver Radio Club net, being held on repeater W0TX. This is a meeting held on the air every Sunday evening at about 8:30 p.m. Good evening, my name is Jim. My call sign is Kilo Zero, Tango Oscar Romeo. I'll be your net control station transmitting from Littleton, Colorado. If there's any emergency or priority traffic during this net, say break at any pause, and the net will be suspended until the emergency or priority traffic is completed. This net is for Denver Radio Club members and all interested radio amateurs. We're here to share information concerning any ham-related activities. Regular meetings of the Denver Radio Club are held on the third Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. And with the COVID-19 restrictions, we've been having virtual meetings using Google Meets. And to find access to that website, you can either check our website, www.W0TX.org, or if you're on the mail list, you'll actually get a invitation to the website. And our next meeting will be held on April the 21st. An Elmer's session is held at 6 p.m. just prior to our monthly meeting. This session addresses any amateur radio questions that you might have. So whether you're new to amateur radio or interested in a new application of amateur radio, this is a session where you can get help. Also, every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m., except the third Wednesday when our monthly meeting is held, there's a learning net held on 145.490 megahertz and 448.625 megahertz. This is another area where you can find your answers for your amateur radio related questions. As a general interest club, we provide emergency communication for the Salvation Army, City of Wheat Ridge Police Department, City of Lakewood Police Department, the West Metro Fire District, and St. Anthony's West Hospital. We're always looking for members who would like to participate in this support. Please contact our club president if you would like to help. Our current president is Jerry Vilhauer, W0GV. Jerry's telephone number is 303-467-0223. The Denver Radio Club website address is www.W0TX.org. Again, Jerry's telephone number is 303-467-0223. The Denver Radio Club also participates in the ARRL Volunteer Examiner Program. And again, with the COVID-19 restrictions, we have to find large enough areas to hold testing, and so we don't do the testing as often as we have in the past. But we try to pass on the planned testing dates here on this net and also on our website. So you might stay tuned. There are other clubs in the area that hold tests as well, and try to pass that information on to you on this website as well. So if you have other questions regarding VE testing, you can contact our VE team lead, Tom Koszowski, KC2CAG. His number is 720-284-1911. This is the Denver Radio Club Net, W0TX, and this is K0TR serving as net control. Are there any special announcements or bulletins for the net this evening? If so, please call now.
N0ETV, Lance and Aurora, brief announcement.
N0ETV, Lance, go ahead with your announcement.
Yes, the Mile High VE team gave examinations yesterday, Saturday morning at HRO, and we awarded 4 technician license and 2 general class license. And N0ETV back to net.
W0TX repeater.
All right. Thanks, Lance, for that input. And I do have you checked in. Another call. Are there any other special announcements or bulletins for the net this evening? If so, please call now. All right, before regular check-ins, I'd like to welcome and invite any visiting radio amateurs to check into the Denver Radio Club net this evening. And during this net, we disable the requirement for the 100 Hz PO repeater access tone. So you can use either 145.490 megahertz with a minus 600 kilohertz offset, or 448.625 megahertz with a minus 5 megahertz offset. Are there any visiting radio amateurs who would like to check into the Denver Radio Club net tonight? If so, please call now. Next, I'd like to welcome and invite any newly licensed or recently upgraded radio amateurs to check in. Please call now. I'll now take regular check-ins in groups. Please let me know if you have traffic when you check in, and I'll get back to you. First, radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters A through E, Alpha through Echo. Please call now.
10 Delta Papa
Kilo Foxtrot 0 Alpha Foxtrot Quebec, Troy.
November 5, Charlie Mike Kilo, Greg in Denver, no traffic.
November 0 Echo Yankee Zulu Jim, South Jefferson County, no traffic.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Bravo Alpha Kilo, David, Lakewood, no traffic.
Alpha Fox 0 Echo, Alex Brownfield.
Kilo Echo 0, Foxtrot Alpha November, Hudson, Denver.
Whiskey Delta 6, Delta Oscar Kilo, Rich in Arvada, no traffic.
Kilo Alpha 5, Delta Kilo Sierra, Ken in Arvada.
And Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. K0 DPR Paul, KF0 AFQ Troy, N5 CMK Greg, N0 YEZ Jim, KF0 BAK David, AF0E Alex, KE0 FAN Hudson, WD6 DOK Rich, and KA5 DKS Ken. Make one more call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters A through E, Alpha through Echo. Please call now.
Correction on my call.
Go ahead, correction.
November 0 Echo Yankee Zulu. Jim.
All right, thanks for the correction. Got those transposed. November 0 Echo Yankee Zulu Jim. And make a second call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters A through E, Alpha through Echo. Please call now.
This is Kilo 1, Delta Bravo Charlie, K1 DBC, Daron with traffic.
KC0 CZ, Bob and Thornton.
Whiskey 0 Bravo Kilo Sierra, Barb in Wigridge.
KF0 APV Drew, Aurora.
And Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. K1 DPC Drone with traffic, KC0 CZ Bob, W0 BKS Barb. Barb, we got quite a hum in your signal. And lastly, I had KF0 ATV Drew. Move on down the alphabet. Radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters F through J, Foxtrot through Juliet. Please call now.
W0GV, Jerry, Westminster.
W0 IBA, Eric, Hudson, no traffic.
Kilo 6 Hotel, Juliet Victor, K6HJV, Tom Arvada, no traffic.
Alpha 0 Juliet Kilo,
AA0JK, Fred in Arvada, good evening, no traffic.
November 1, Golf Uniform Mike, Peter in South Jericho.
WD0, CIV, Charleston, Denver, no traffic.
Net Control would like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. W0GV Jerry, W0IBA Eric, K6HJV Tom, AA0JK Fred, N1GUM Peter, and KB0CIV Charles. Make one more call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters F through J, Foxtrot through Juliet. Please call now.
W0.
All right, move on down the alphabet, and radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters K through O, Kilo through Oscar. Please call now.
Kilo 0, Kilo Papa Sierra, Kevin Lakewood, no traffic.
Whiskey 0, Lima Foxtrot, Olin and Golden, no traffic, over.
Kilo Echo 0, Oscar Sierra India, Tom Highlands Ranch, no traffic.
Whiskey 0, Mike Delta Kilo, Matt in Denver.
Kilo 0, Mike, Kilo Hotel, Keith and Thornton.
K0KKU, Frank in Thornton.
Net Control would like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. K0KPS Kevin, WW0LF Orland, KE0OSI Tom, W0MDK Matt, and Mike, I didn't get your suffix. I got K0 and I missed the other. It got behind. Could you repeat that for me, please?
I believe you mean Keith. Call sign Kilo 0, Mike, Kilo Hotel. Keith and Thornton.
Break for comment.
Go ahead, comment.
KE0FAN here. I'm seeing periods lasting several seconds where it looks like the carrier is lit, but there's no transmission. Is someone trying to use a code that's not working?
No, what that is being that we have the PL tone turned off, we've got interference coming from, we have not been able to figure out where it is, but it's a pretty wide interference. It affects a number of repeaters, so it's just a nuisance that we're trying to tolerate.
Yeah, copy that, thank you. KE0FAN clear.
You're welcome. And lastly, I had K0KUN Frank. Make a second call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters K through O, Kilo through Oscar. Please call now.
Call correction.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, this is K0KKU, Kilo Uniform, Frank and Thornton.
All right, thanks, Frank. We got that straightened out. K0KKU. Make a second call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters K through O, Kilo through Oscar. Please call now.
Kilo 0, Mike, Kilo Hotel, Keith and Thornton. Sorry, I didn't know if you got me the first round or not.
KD0, NRO, Reed in Arvada.
Yes, Keith, K0MKH. Keith, we did get you on the first round. Thank you. And I'd like to acknowledge and welcome KD0NRO Reed. Move on down the alphabet, and radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters P through T, Papa through Tango. Please call now.
Whiskey Bravo 2, Sierra Hotel Romeo, Stanton, Denver, no traffic.
Kilo 0, Romeo, Charlie, Whiskey, Robert, Lakewood, no traffic.
November 0, Tango, Romeo, Papa, Jim in Lakewood. Good evening.
Kilo Echo 0, Romeo Victor Zulu, John in Lakewood, no traffic.
Kilo Bravo 9er, Quebec Delta Golf, KB 9er QDG, Carl, Lakewood, no traffic.
Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. WB2SHR Stan, K0RCW Robert, N0TRP Jim, KE0RVZ John, and KB9er QDG Carl. Make one more call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters P through T, Papa through Tango. Please call now. Move on down the alphabet. Radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters U through Z, uniform through Zulu. Please call now.
KF0UV, Marshall and Glendale.
November 0, X-Ray, Romeo X-Ray, Mark in Arvada.
Kilo Alpha 0, Victor Bravo Alpha, Curtis and Lakewood, clear.
Kilo 0, Yankee Echo Sierra, Ken in Broomfield.
Kilo Delta 0, Whiskey Mike Oscar, Stephen Arvada.
Kilo Echo 0, Yankee Kilo Victor, Bill in Lakewood.
Alpha Charlie 0, Uniform Alpha, AC0UA, Jason, Westminster.
W0TX repeater.
And Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. KF0UV Marshall, N0XRX Mark, KA0VBA Curtis, and Ken, I didn't get your suffix. Come back for me, please. K0 question mark.
Kilo 0, Yankee Echo Sierra.
Thanks, Ken. Once you get behind this job, you're lost. So thanks. Appreciate that. And next I had KD0WMO Steve. And Bill, I believe I got KE0YEV. Did I get the right call?
Close.
Sorry, but the noise just drowned you out. I didn't catch anything. Please repeat.
That would be Kilo Echo 0, Yankee Kilo Victor.
All right, thanks for that. Kilo Echo 0, Yankee Kilo Victor. And Bill, I got AC0 and I didn't get the end of that as well. Could you come back with a fill, please? I'm sorry, it was not Bill. AC0 question mark and I didn't get the name. If you'd come back, please.
Alpha Charlie 0, Uniform Alpha, AC0UA, Jason.
That was it. Thanks, Jason. AC0UA. Make one more call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters U through Z, uniform through Zulu. Please call now.
Whiskey 0, Alpha Romeo Kilo, Stephen Denver, no traffic.
AB0, UIG, Michael G, Edgewater, no traffic.
And Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. W0ARK Stephen and KB0UIG Michael. Open it up to complete alphabet. Radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters A through Z, Alpha through Zulu. Please call now.
November 0, Golf, Kurt in Denver.
Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-in. N0GTG Kurt. There'll be a chance for late check-ins a little bit later in the net. And at this time, I'd like to turn the net over to our club president, Jerry Billhauer, W0GV. Go ahead, Jerry, the net's yours.
Okay, Jim, well, thanks for doing the net. Welcome, everybody. Hope you're all doing well out there. The only real message I have here tonight is about our upcoming meeting on April 21st, which will be a virtual meeting like it's been for the last, seems like forever. It'll be on slot antennas and be presented by John at W6NBC, and he's going to tell us about VHF, UHF, and HF slot antennas. So I'm particularly interested in the HF slot antennas. I've seen VHF and UHF, but the HF will be interesting. So keep April 21st on your calendar, and hopefully we'll see a big turnout for that. I believe that's all I got. So back to, I think I announced last, maybe I did or didn't, I don't remember when, but our 220 repeaters back in service. I think we announced that last week, but it's repaired and back in service. So, you know, if you can do 220, we'll give it a try. Back to you, Jim, W0GB.
All right, thanks very much, Jerry. Appreciate that. Look forward to our next meeting. Let's see. K1DBC, Daron, you had traffic. Go ahead with your traffic.
Thanks, Jim. K0TR. This is K1DBC Daron. Thanks for taking the net as always. As the club's field day chairperson, I guess I would like to give a quick primer and update on our field day. For those new to field day, the ARL field day is a ham radios open house every last June of weekend of June, excuse me. This year it's going to be the 26th and 27th. More than 40,000 ham radio operators throughout North America set up temporary transmitting stations in public places to demonstrate ham radio's science, skill, and service to our communities and our nation. It combines public service, emergency preparedness, community outreach, and technical skills all in a single event. It has been an annual event since 1933 and remains the most popular event in ham radio. The purpose is to connect as many stations as possible on 160 through 10 meters HF bands, as well as all bands 50 megahertz and above, and to learn to operate in abnormal situations in less than optimal conditions. You can find more general info at arrl.org/field day. Field-day. I'll go ahead and drop for just a moment. So that's a quick primer. That's kind of what it is on paper, but our last field days have been really neat. A lot of camping and just a lot of fellowship and getting together and just a lot of fun. So it can be as techy as we want, but obviously, unfortunately, we'll unfortunately not be able to probably meet in person at the Chief Hosa campground this year, as in past years. But we can have this, our field day can be shaped however we want. So we are open to any ideas for any in-person or remote options. If you know of a suitable location where we could set up or operate 2 to 3 stations over a 2-day period, we'd love to hear from you. If we cannot meet physically, I still plan on having something much more significant virtual presence this year online, YouTube. All of that being said, I'll take any comments, questions, suggestions on our upcoming field day. This is K1DBC. Please call now.
W0TX repeater.
All right, this is K1DBC9. I know that was a bit much there, but you can find a lot more info if you Google ARL Field Day, Ham Radio Field Day, things like that, and you can kind of find some videos, YouTube, and some images, and kind of see what things look like. It's just kind of people hanging out, just getting together. So I guess with that, Jim, K0TR, or anyone else have any other comments, questions on the ARL Field Day for the upcoming club, please call now.
Drone, this K0TR. I guess my comment is, I would like to find some place that we could get together and have a field day with isolation and such, or separation, but I'm not sure where that could be. And like you say, if we could find some place to do that, that would be the desired layout. If not, I guess we're probably going to have to end up doing like we did last year, where we actually work out of our home bases. But hopefully, you can find something else. So I guess that's all the help I have. This is K02R back to K1DBC.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks there, Jim. K02R. This is K1DBC. Yeah, we still have plenty of time here, but it's going to creep up on us pretty quickly. So if anybody has any suggestions, let us know. I mean, any parking lots, open spaces, just anything within the Denver metro area that would be easy to reach. We have 400 plus dues-paying members, so there'd be a few people showing up. We've had 30 or plus people, so camping overnight, and then that same amount visiting in past field days. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me directly, k1dbc@arrl.net. You can also send an email to W0TX@W0TX.org, with a subject field day. Let us know. This is K1DBC. I'll go ahead and give it back to K0TOR.
K1DBC, this is K02R. All right, thanks, Drone. Look forward to see if we can find some place. All right, I don't see anyone else that indicated they had traffic. And this is the Denver Radio Club Net, W0TX, and this is K02R Net Control Station. Does anyone have any other comments, information, or business for the net? If so, please call now. All right, I have another announcement to pass on to the club members, and that's regarding the Siren Tests. I mentioned that we have Siren Tests scheduled with Lakewood for the 26th of May, and that's been delayed because they needed some time to go off and do maintenance on their system, both in Wheat Ridge and Lakewood. And I just received a notification from Wheat Ridge. They wanted to have their siren test the week after we had Lakewood, and I asked if we could slip that a week because that'd be kind of a rush situation to have siren tests 1 week after the other. So they did come back and they moved that to the 9th of June. They can't move it up any sooner than that, and that's kind of late in the season, so they're getting a little anxious because we're getting somewhat into the bad weather season. So at least we did get a little bit of separation there. So we'll have the Lakewood siren test on the 26th of May, and then 2 weeks later we'll have the siren test for Wheat Ridge on the 9th of June. And those take place at 11 o'clock. So if you participated in the siren test previous years, we'll be in touch with you. Hopefully you can help us again this year for both weeks. And we'll be looking for any volunteers that we need to fill in any empty spaces that we run into. So we'll try and keep you appraised and call those and let them know what their siren sites are and all the details. So we don't yet know what we're going to do after each of those siren tests. In the past, we've been invited to come by Lakewood and Wheat Ridge facilities for pizza and soft drinks, but not sure that's going to be possible this year with the COVID restrictions. So we're just going to have to wait a little bit here and see what comes out of that. But we'll try and see what we can work out. So anyways, just put those on the calendar, 5/26, May 26th for Lakewood, and June 9th for Wheat Ridge. Thank you. And make one more call. We have anyone with any other information or business for the net, please call now. All right, do we have any late check-ins? Please call now. All right, I'll now review the next weekend's contests and upcoming ham fests. unfortunately, with COVID, we don't have any Hamfests on the calendar at this point in time. Hopefully that's going to change, but we'll have to stand by and see. As far as upcoming contests, first one I have on the list is the ES Open HF Championship, and that begins on April the 17th at 0500 hour Zulu, goes through April 17th until 0859 hour Zulu. That's on 80 and 40 meters, and that's a CW and phone contest. Next, I've got the Yudx Contest. That begins on April 17th at 0700 hour Zulu, goes till April 18th until 0659 hour Zulu. That's on 80 through 10 meters, and that's a CW contest. CW and phone contest, I'm sorry. Next, I have the ComDX Contest. That begins on April 17th at 0900 hour Zulu, goes through April 18th until 2359 hour Zulu. That's on 80 through 10 meters, and that's a CW contest. Next, we have the Texas State Parks on the air. That begins on April 17th at 1400 hour Zulu, goes through April 18th until 2000 hour Zulu. That's on all bands, and that's CW phone and digital contest. Next, we have the Michigan QSO Party. That begins on April 17th at 1600 hour Zulu, goes through April 18th at 0400 hour Zulu. That's on 80 through 10 meters, and that's CW and phone contest. Next, we have the EA QRP CW contest. That begins on April 17th at 1700 hour Zulu, goes through April 18th until 1200 hour Zulu. That's on 80 through 10 meters. That's a CW contest. Next, we have the Phil Hell Sprint. It begins on April 17th. It's 1800 hour Zulu. Goes through April 17th until 2159 hour Zulu. That's 160 through 6 meters, and that's a digital contest. And next, we have the Ontario QSO Party. That begins on April 17th at 1800 hour Zulu, goes through April 18th until 1800 hour Zulu. That's on 160 through 2 meters. That's a CW and phone contest. Next, we have the Arl Rookies Roundup, and that begins on April 18th at 1800 hour Zulu, goes through April 18th until 2359 hour Zulu. That's on 80 through 10 meters, and that's a phone contest. And lastly, we have Run for the Bacon QRP contest. That begins on April 18th at 2300 hour Zulu, goes through April 19th until 0100 hour Zulu, and that's on 160 through 10 meters. A couple reminders. The High Noon Net, they meet daily at 12 noon with early check-ins at 11:30. They meet on a frequency of 7.240 megahertz, which is on a 40-meter band. And the Salvation Army Saturnet, they meet at 1500 hour Zulu. That's 9 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. And they meet Monday through Saturday on a frequency of 14.265 megahertz, which is on the 20-meter band. The Denver Radio Club maintains the following repeaters for use by all radio amateurs: the 147.330 megahertz with a positive offset, the 145.490 megahertz with a negative offset, the 224.380 megahertz with a negative offset, the 449.350 megahertz with a negative offset, the 448.625 megahertz with a negative offset, the 447.825 megahertz with a negative offset. Our digital turbo repeater operating on Brandmeister on 446.7875 megahertz with a negative offset, and our C4 FM digital repeater on 449.775 megahertz with a negative offset. The 447.825 megahertz repeater is configured for narrowband FM, and that requires a digital coded squelch of 073. There are two repeaters on 147.330 megahertz. The repeater in Lakewood requires a 100 hertz build tone, and the second repeater located east near Franktown requires a 131.8 hertz build tone. We have a second repeater on the same frequency out east to improve coverage along the Front Range and into the canyons. However, in having two repeaters on the same frequency that have different frequency propagations, we ask that you monitor the frequency to assure neither is in use prior to making your call. The 449.350 megahertz repeater provides wide area coverage, and this repeater hosts our Echolink station, W0TX, node number 4140. And the 448.625 megahertz repeater is linked with the 145.490 megahertz repeater. The repeater on 449.775 is now a C4 FM digital-only repeater. Each repeater requires a 100 hertz field tone for activation, except as noted, and each uses standard offsets. And for packet, we have the 145.050 megahertz gateway on 2 meters that is interconnected with the 14.105 megahertz gateway on 20 meters for packet QSO. And we have a 6 meter repeater on 53.09 megahertz with an input on 52.09 megahertz with the required 107.2 hertz field tone. Your support of the Denver Radio Club is greatly appreciated. If you'd like to participate in any of any club activities, please contact our club president. Excuse me, Jerry Bellhauer, W0GV. I'd like to thank everyone for checking into the Denver Radio Club Net tonight. Your support is greatly appreciated. I hope you all have a great week. 7-3. Tonight we had a total of 43 check-ins, and the Denver Radio Club W0TX Net is now closed at 9:15, and repeaters available for regular use. This is K0TR, your net control station, and please stand by a moment while I return the appeal tone to the repeater.
PL on.
And this is K0TR. I'll be clear, and good night to everyone.